Welcome to the Flex Forward podcast, where grit meets growth. With your host, Nic Espanet, bringing you stories of resilience, reinvention, and the real climb to success.
All right, everyone, welcome to the Flex Forward podcast. Today, we're joined by Tara Osborn. Tara is an operations executive at CMIT Solutions. I'll let her give us a little more detail about what that is. It sounds exciting. Tara, welcome to the Flex Forward podcast. I'm so glad to have you and get to know you a little bit. Can you let our listeners know a little bit about you?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Nic. So I'm Tara Osborn. Yes, I'm the COO at CMIT Solutions, and we are an IT and cybersecurity franchise model. So I'm at the headquarters, and we've got a system of over 300 locations. And so in my role, it's all about helping support people that want to be small business owners and help support them in launching their business and through the whole life cycle of owning a business.
That's awesome. It's great. And it sounds like it's almost like you're a fractional IT department. Would that be a accurate description where you help smaller IT, or you guys send franchise? You have your own franchisees underneath you.
Yes, we have our own franchisees. So we've got about 300 of them in the U.S. and they work with small and medium-sized businesses all the way up to enterprise level. We cross all industries, heavy in hospitality, engineering, construction, healthcare, financial, the compliance-heavy industries. So, yes.
Very neat. Awesome. So in the IT world, in that world, I'm sure there's lots of competition. What's something that sets you and your team apart?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. I would definitely say a couple things. So CMIT Solutions was founded by an amazing woman named Georgia Jones 30 years ago. We actually are celebrating our 30th year in business this year. And she started this, 30 years ago, if you think about where IT was compared to today. And she started this model as like supporting and doing like computer training in people's homes for people. And it quickly kind of took on, and people whispered in her ear, gosh, you should franchise this. And so she ultimately did that, turned it into a franchise model, and then started to service B2B, organizations. And so back in the early days, it used to be a break-fix model, but now we're kind of a traditional managed service provider where we'll go into all size organizations and manage their IT, cybersecurity. Sometimes we work like in a co-working environment where they might have some IT professionals on site that we're supporting.
Okay, very neat. Awesome. What a neat thing. I was trying to think, 1996, I had a computer. It was a Apple II. It was one of those boxy Apple. It was like a cube. So, and it was basically a fancy word processor.
Yeah.
I typed papers on it. That was the extent when the company started. So as you've made your journey, have you come across any things that's helped you to improve either personally or business wise? Something, if someone wants to get better at doing it, that you could recommend?
Yeah. For me, I'm an athlete at heart. That's kind of my background, and I've just applied. A personal passion is endurance sports.
Okay.
I owned 3 of my own businesses and grew those and sold those, but one was a franchise. I was a franchisor and sold that model. And so for me, it's just all about daily discipline. And that's what I tell our franchisees now. And when we take them through training and doing those things on the days you don't want to, pushing through, don't negotiate with yourself, just create a plan and just execute it. And that's when the real wins happen. But I think having a plan, but just staying to the daily habits is where it's all at.
Creating that habit, doing it regular to where it becomes just part of your day.
Yep.
What is one of the biggest challenges you've had to overcome in your career path?
I think probably my background was in marketing. That's what I went to school for. And when I started the business that I had before, I started it with a partner, and I was a marketing expert. He was an operations expert. And so what marketing was like my wheelhouse. And so when we started our model, it flourished in a great way, and customer acquisition, we knew how to do that and scaled that pretty well. And then after about 5 years, then we started franchising the model out. And shortly into that, about 4 locations in, I realized I can't do marketing for all of these people, and my skills need to translate from me doing to me putting together a model, a repeatable model framework for people that come into franchising, come from all different amazing walks of life, different career backgrounds. Some are strong in marketing, some aren't. And so at that point, I had to create a marketing playbook and processes. And so I just kind of learned at that point what franchising was really about and what scalability is really about, and what you need to put in place. And I think it's only helped me in other areas to create those same kind of that approach and processes for other parts of the business to help people be successful with their businesses.
Yeah, what a great story, and what a lesson that you learned. So congratulations. Sounds like things are going very well for you and your business. And as an executive, as things start getting busy, you may start thinking of other ways to create income to where you're not having to put your time in, like through alternative investments. Have you ever had any thoughts of real estate or anything along those lines?
I'm very intrigued by real estate. It's definitely something I'm very interested in. Have a love for just traveling with my family to different Airbnbs and kind of seeing that model and rental property and creating a place that people want to go and have a great time, but benefit of bringing in some additional income. Absolutely.
No, that's awesome. Well, that's just, I was a physical therapist before I got into what I'm doing now in the commercial real estate world. And I only got paid when I worked. So it's just trying to come up with something that was fun like that. And,
Yep.
and you could get paid while you're not working is always nice to have some mailbox money.
Definitely.
For sure. So as we're wrapping up the interview, do you have any exciting plans or initiatives in the next 6 to 12 months?
Well, we're growing right now, rolling out lots of exciting things with AI within our network, getting our franchisees trained on delivering different AI solutions. Very excited about that. We're going to a really well-known industry event, ChannelCon, in a couple of weeks to celebrate with the whole MSP space and our franchisees for our 30th year in business. And then we have an annual conference that we do with our franchise system in September. We call it CMIT Connect Live, and myself and my team are working really hard to be ready for that, to put on a great event of good content and just good collaboration. So I'm really looking forward to all of those things.
Awesome. Lots of exciting stuff coming up. So Tara, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing lots of great tips and insights. If any of our listeners would like to connect with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
LinkedIn's great. I'm on LinkedIn, pretty active on LinkedIn. So I would absolutely love that. Or, that would be great.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thanks everyone for tuning in today and listening. Be sure to like and share. And Tara, thank you. It's great to get to chat with you some, and I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Nic.
Thanks for listening to the Flex Forward podcast. If you've got grit, growth, and a great story, visit flexforwardpodcast.com/guest to apply and join us on the show.